So basically, I've decided to make a new video, and this time it's not going to be about abortion, so don't worry. It's going to be something new, something that's probably been talked about several thousand times by many different people. But yeah, this is going to be about abstinence and sex and my opinions on them. So basically, I respect people who are abstinent or are trying to be abstinent, but what happens when someone doesn't want to get married, or when someone doesn't believe in marriage? Whether you want kids or just want sex, some people just don't believe in marriage, so obviously they can't wait until they're married if they never get married. Society has come to believe that everyone wants to get married, and that everyone will eventually get married. Well, this is evidently not true. There are many people who don't want to form a traditional family. What about those people? Should they just not have sex for that reason? I think what's important is not marriage itself, but what it represents. Society accepts sex after marriage because the ceremony represents a strong union and deep caring between two people. As long as these feelings exist, I really don't see why sex should be a bad thing. I mean, of course, promiscuity can be very bad and can have bad consequences, but just because someone has sex before marriage, it doesn't mean that he or she takes sex lightly or even thinks it's casual or unmeaningful for that matter. You know, as long as the appropriate precautions are taken and a deep feeling supports the relationship, I really don't see why sex should be a bad thing. Even if before marriage, like the chances of abstinence working these days, especially now, it's very slim. Like abstinence only education has repetitively or whatever been proven to be complete and utter failure. I mean, not for every person, but for most people. Like when you're an adolescent, whenever someone says don't, there's like some switch that clicks in your head that tells you to do what you were just told not to do, and that happens to me all the time, and I even do it purposely. But anyway, here is my problem with abstinence. They aren't like, it's not, you're not, they don't it doesn't teach you how to practice safe sex. It teaches you to wait until marriage, but like it doesn't teach you anything about birth control or condoms, and like when it does, and when like, I don't know, when a kid decides to have sex, they won't have any idea how to have safe sex, and that's obviously a problem because if kids or anyone doesn't have safe sex, they have a greater risk of becoming pregnant or have STDs or anything like that. If you want to protect your kids, you need to teach them about safe sex. So, if and when they decide to have sex, they aren't going to end up with an STD or an unwanted pregnancy. Also, just because two people are married, wait, I've said that before. I'm sorry. I'm having a really weird day. Anyway, like, just because two people are married, that doesn't mean that they want a child, or, you know, not every couple wants children or likes children. Like, sex is a key factor in a good marriage. Sure, everyone can say it's all about love, but, and it mostly is, but if you have crappy sex with your partner and don't enjoy it, that can, notice I'm not saying will, ruin a marriage because that's a level on which one might not connect. Personally, I'm not ready for a child, nor do I want STDs, but that's why people get tested. I'm in a relationship with one guy, my boyfriend, and we've actually been together for a year now, and I'm on birth control, and we've both been tested, and we try to be as responsible as we can. Once you have sex, you pretty much know the entire person, like the whole person. Like, you can't get any closer than that, okay? That's kind of a joke. If you're having sex, hopefully you know the whole person already. And no, you're not a skank if you have sex or sex before marriage. Should you have sex before marriage, you'll be experienced though, and you'll probably be pretty pleasing to your spouse based on that, you know, in that way. Sex should be an ultimate sign of commitment and trust. No, it isn't always, but for some, it's a very large, passionate, and loving step in a relationship. I'm sorry, my bird is like eating my hair. Pepper, stop eating my hair. Yeah. Another thing, like, sex, I'm sorry, my nose is just really itchy, it's dry. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm really ADD today. Not good. But yeah, it feels great, it's healthy for you. It relieves stress, provides exercise, especially for the cardiovascular. If you want sex but you don't want children or STDs, like, you're forced to be responsible. That is another responsibility in one's life, which is another sign of growth and maturity. And growth and maturity is good. Sex, willing, and successful makes people happy. It's a proven fact. It releases tons of happy endorphins. I said that wrong, but whatever. Sex also teaches lessons like what ways your body can and can't move, what feels good, as well as who you are as a person based on how often, where, who with, and how many people you have it with. Sex is also a completely natural thing. All animals do it. Even most people do too. And even if it's just for mating purposes. Like, clearly it can't be wrong for humans to do it for pleasure if dolphins do it for pleasure too, and I'm sure there are probably other animals who do it for pleasure also. I don't know. I'm sorry this video is really crappy, but I'm in a bit of a rush. But yeah, that's my video. Ta.